Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of For Sits and Gigs. Today with me I have Will of Anticline and Galloper. Hello Will.
Hey guys. Hey Kevin. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm really well.
That's great. Thank you to Nick for introducing us in a sense.
Yep.
I don't really want to give him a shout out, but you know.
We'll give Nick a shout out.
Yeah, one.
I like Nick. Nick likes me. I went into his work the other day and he gave me a special on something, a JB High Five, so thanks Nick.
I do try and get him to do that a bit actually.
Oh really?
I did notice when I was doing all the research for this, like the questions and stuff, that Nick comments on like every Anticline post ever.
He's a really, really solid, dedicated fan,
Yes,
which I really appreciate.
And I love it. So we'll go back to the beginning. How did you get your start in music? How'd you get your foot in the door, basically?
Sure. I picked up a guitar when I was like 15, 16 and just started being a tab machine, basically. Like I discovered what tabs were and I was never super musically minded, so it made sense for me to just read numbers and attribute that to a fretboard and play with absolutely no character whatsoever. And looking back, like I didn't even know like what a chord shape was. I didn't understand that like a 5, 7, 9 thing is actually a chord, but you're just playing individual notes, and because it was all metalcore back then, like August Burns Red and stuff like that, I think I was playing the songs twice as difficult as I needed to. Like I could have made my life a lot easier. But yeah, went through that and a couple of shitty high school bands that were literally just like after school, go to the cramped, like one of the band halls and just jam with your friends. And then went from there to not doing much with music, but still playing guitar. And then myself, Dylan, and Caleb, who are all in Anticline still, decided to start a melodic hardcore band called Withdrawal in about 2015, I think that was. And that was great because Caleb was one of the people who I was still playing with in high school. So we've been in bands together for as long as music's been a thing in my life. Yeah. And that went pretty well, and then we kind of wanted to go in a different direction. We enjoyed doing something a bit heavier. Melodic hardcore is kind of a bit, I know as a genre can get a little bit stale, and there's only so many other melodic hardcore bands you want to play with. And I was the vocalist and frontman then, and I wasn't the best vocalist. I get tired really easily, and I move around a lot, and it leaves me super short of breath. So I don't think I was the best like for live performances for that.
I've seen quite a few photos of you off stage running around with a guitar in your hand. I can picture that.
Buying a wireless was revolutionary. So I played with a long ass cable for ages, and then finally invested the money in a shit wireless and then a good wireless, and it felt like being off the lead finally. I was free.
So how did Anticline come about then? How did that begin?
Oh, sure. So Withdrawal kind of came to a bit of a close. We kind of, like, it was Dylan, Caleb, myself, and then Jake Ewings and Connor McMillan were the other two people in the band, but they had another musical project they wanted to focus on, which was fair enough. So they kind of went off and did that. And then Winfield, the other Ballarat band, they kind of said their goodbyes, so we snapped up Jack, the guitarist of them, who we were all close friends with, and we played a bunch of shows with them. And then he put us on to Darcy Carroll from Melbourne, who's now our drummer. And from then we've just been tight as, I think. How else do I say it? We've been a good group of friends who've been pracking together almost every week that we could. From like the outset, we were just like, right, this is what we're doing. We got some content. Dylan, Jack, and Darcy do like all the songwriting. So between those three, the demos just started coming together, and we decided pretty quickly that pracking in Melbourne was the only way to do it, because we needed like a good rehearsal space. And
that's something I've grown to know through. I did a music business course a few years ago, and they ask you to do basically a project and bring it to them at the end of the year and go, this is what I need to do, and it's to find a gap in the market wherever you are. And I was the only one in Ballarat, and I was like, we don't have rehearsal rooms.
We don't.
We really don't. And so sort of wrote a business plan for it, but it wasn't fantastic. But I started looking and researching into other areas and like looking at the ones in Geelong and the ones in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then of course like the Pinnacle, which were the ones over in like Perth in WA. And
are they good over there?
Apparently,
Okay.
really good. Yeah, like just the setup and the way they do it over there. I think the drummer from Carnival owns a couple,
Yep.
and the way he sort of set it up is really awesome.
Pretty well kitted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So, so I can agree that Ballarat needs that. If anyone's going to watch this, get off your ass. I'm busy doing a podcast now. I can't do it anymore.
I'm busy doing a podcast. So I can't do it. But if anyone wants, like, we use 3-Phase Studios in Melbourne, and they're fantastic. And it's about $120, $130 for the session, and then between 5 people, it's fine. We don't have to bring a drum kit or cabs. And they have a mixing desk and PAs and stuff there, so it's great.
Yeah, brilliant. Fast forward to the start of this year. You guys put together the Bushfire Relief Gig at the Eastern.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Fucking cool. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I was invited, but I couldn't make it. But the lineup was amazing because it was just
quite
people
eclectic.
from all aspects.
Yeah, we had. Oh geez, no, I've been asked this once before, and I wasn't able to do the full lineup, so I'm not going to start in case I miss someone. But we put together. It was just a let's get a diverse, musically diverse, and people diverse lineup, and try and just get some money together. We just felt like we needed to do something because like Ballarat's kind of regional. Everyone knows someone who was affected, and we were shocked by the amount of money we got out of it. Yeah.
It was a fantastic job and a great day from all accounts that I've heard. As far as the actual day went music wise, did it flow well? Having like so many different genres.
It really did. Once again, surprisingly so. We got a friend, Trav Don from Geelong, to come down and do sound for us, and he did that for free. Just because it was like for a fundraiser thing, so good on him. And he did a really good job at the Eastern, making everything sound fantastic. And I think, I remember Matt Murray played, and they had some horns at one point. Some guy got up and just had a trumpet with a microphone, and that was, I think I remember glancing over and seeing Trav like at the desk really quickly, trying to adjust a couple of levels. But yeah, it was good. It was great.
No, cool. Forward from that, your last proper gig with the band, I believe, was at Wrangler Studios in Melbourne. Is that right?
It was. Yeah.
How does it feel now, knowing that was the last proper gig before all this shit fell down upon us?
I was really looking forward to that one because we've never played an all ages show. No, we've played an all ages show. We've never played an all ages show at Wrangler before, and going to shows in Melbourne, you're going to go to an all ages show or two at Wrangler at some point. So it was nice to be able to do that, but not knowing that it was the last one we were going to play kind of sucks a little bit. But at least Broken were playing, and so was Crust, and they were fantastic. Yeah.
Good set list, right?
Yeah.
Now, where is Wrangler? Because it's not one of the names I've seen pop up before.
Oh, really? Yeah, you should definitely check it out. They're western suburbs, like the Ballarat side, in a kind of factory area. That's all I got for you.
All right,
sorry,
fair.
man.
No, that's all right.
I'm not good with names. I follow Google Maps everywhere.
They generally do more metal acts, or
a bit of everything.
Yeah,
they've got. I think they really push pretty hard to get a bit of everything. Like they have funk and soul and stuff as well.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, good facilities as well.
Then, of course, yes, lockdown happened and COVID smacked us all around. And everyone had to adapt. So the next thing that happened was the Sanity Livestream was thrown together, and you guys were a part of that as well on the Volta side of things.
Yeah, we played Volta.
Yeah. How was that? Was it weird playing in an empty?
Yeah, it was really weird. It was bizarre. It was for the kind of music we play, we really rely on at least a bit of crowd participation, even if everyone's just kind of standing around doing some of these or some of these. just like a blank face kind of staring at you expressionlessly, it's better than nothing, because you can get some sort of reaction out of people usually. But Sanitize, as much as we are grateful for the opportunity, and it was really fun, and we'd love to do something like that again. For at that point, we'd gone 3 months or so without seeing each other, being in the same room, pracking or anything like that. So for us to come back together and play a show to what felt like a vacuum, because it was just 3 people with cameras who were working very hard to do their job. Like, they were just looking at us like, I don't know, we were like a monkey bashing the cymbals together and doing the backflips. Like, you know, we might as well have been a juggling act. They were just there to do the cameras and do all that, and other than that, it was just an empty room. So it was really hard to feel in the groove. And I think I remember halfway through the set, like, having a real moment of, like, I had to pep myself up a little bit mentally.
Just a bit drained.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, watching it, even from home, like, actually watching the live stream, like, they did a really good job as far as, the camera work and the interviews between. The lights were
fantastic. And the cuts between, I like they did the proper welcome to country and things like that as well, which I really appreciate.
But it did feel weird at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. The footage looks fantastic. But not having anyone in the front row doing anything at all is just bizarre.
As Nick and I talked about the other week, Miss getting like kicked and thrown around in a mosh, like
having someone climb over you suddenly is I miss that.
Next big thing was the EP urgency. Yes, it's probably not coming up on the camera. I noticed that earlier, bastard. But
that's all right. Yeah, the glare. It's all right. Urgency. Go stream it on Spotify.
Yes, you'll find it on Spotify. And merch. There's tons of merch too, which I saw and it actually looks pretty sick.
Thank you.
No, it's all right.
It's all right. Shoehorned that into a little advertisement. But,
why not? Do it. This is for the musicians, so feel free to shamelessly throw yourself out as much as you like. The merch itself, like, was that a new concept to you as well? Like, actually
to make merch. Fortunately, we made a few shirts a few years ago, and just slowly, like, we'd wait till we were nearly out of stock and then do the next run. And fortunately, we're pretty much, like, we've been selling out of most everything. That thing happens where you kind of look in the bottom of, we've just got like a merch, like, big plastic tub that you buy from the reject shop with a little money tin, and we just cart that around to all the shows. And you have the inevitable, like, there's one like medium left in this shirt just kicking around, so we get to the show and kind of look at it and go like we'll sell it like for $20, which is basically like near cost price with shipping and all the rest of it, just to clear it out and make room for the next thing. But we finally did an online store for the EP, which we haven't had before. You had to come to a show to buy a shirt. So it was a bit of a learning curve, bit of an organizational thing. Trying to get things in stock during COVID has been a pain. We sold out of those hoodies with the EP artwork on them really quickly, and then managed to talk the boys into doing another order of them.
That was the last post I think that you put up was that.
We finally restocked them, but we like ordered those a month ago and thought they were going to get there a lot sooner. So I felt like the drive, like demand for them, kind of went down a little bit, but that's okay. Now we're stocked up for shows.
I know the feeling. I pre-ordered Seven Dust's new album and a t-shirt, hoodie, like as a package thing, but it was coming from Illinois, and I got it a week and a half, 2 weeks after the album actually came out, so that was great.
That happens.
It's a really rough time as far as ordering goes.
I was shocked actually. I finally saved up a little bit of money and like put in a giant order with Polyvinyl Records in the UK, or perhaps it was their American store. I can't remember, but I ordered like 10 or 11 records, and one of them was like the Jeff Rosenstock. He's a pop punk artist. His album was a pre-order, and it came 2 days after the album released. Just astoundingly good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I wanted to shake the post guy's hand, honestly.
Not that he'd have any clue what you were getting.
No, it was just a big square box, but with the word fragile stamped all over it. But I was fully resigned to getting it like a month later or something like that, and that's fine, I guess.
The EP itself, I've noticed it is getting some huge reviews. There's a lot of people that have written little spiels about it and articles, and they're all great.
Yeah.
They're all really, really good. So you guys are obviously proud of what you've done.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, immensely.
How the process itself, have you had all the songs and the writing part of it down before all this started, or have you just been working on it this entire time?
So we actually got done writing it in like June, July of last year. August, September, we kind of finalized a few things, and Dylan and I got together and did the scratch tracks. And it's November 15th, 16th today-ish. Like by about this time last year, we went to Jamie Marinos's place and recorded it, and then it was pretty much done and out of our hands by then. And then there were a few delays in getting it done, and then COVID started to happen, so we started to push it back, and then COVID really happened, so we had to kind of take a good hard look. And there was a good debate about like reasons why we should hold off on releasing it, reasons why we should release it. There's more ears than ever. We're missing out on the momentum, because so much of music's momentum based. You release something, you really want to be getting on the back of other tours and playing shows to get that out there. Yeah, so I think it's been well received, quite well received, but I think we're keen to move on and do something else at this point. And
that's the thing. I think, obviously the punters too are waiting to hear these songs live. They're waiting to get a hold of it. But in saying that, I think it was also a smart move because, as I've said to a few people before, a lot of the stuff that's getting released at the moment is just covers because bands aren't together and they aren't writing. So it's not a bad time to push something out while you've got it, because people will listen to it because there's not much, you've got a hold of the market.
That's just it. And those kind reviews you were talking about before, like I think it was coming from a bit of a drought. Like when we released our EP, there wasn't a lot else coming out that week. Although Diamond Construct did actually release their EP on the same day.
Naturally.
So, yeah.
Did yours come out earlier?
No, midnight of that day, both of them were live. It was a bit of a, we had a discussion in the band inbox because we had like the date and everything set like a month and a half beforehand, and then 3 weeks beforehand they announced that, and they've got label backing and can do like proper advertising for it and do a proper like campaign for it and things like that. So yeah, you win some, you lose some. Yes.
Oh well, as we've said, the EP has done well. Like a lot of people have listened to it and a lot of people love it. So you can't really ask for much else at this stage.
No.
Until things open up.
I would like to play a show.
Yeah.
I can ask.
You can ask.
But
yes.
I probably won't get it.
No, we're on the back end of it now. I think a lot of places are starting to do gigs again, which is good to see.
Can't wait to play a seated show.
Yes. Some acoustic metal will be great.
Oh jeez.
No.
We got Sonica to book us again.
Yeah.
Sorry. I love Sonica. We had a hilarious show 2 years ago, right after our first EP came out, where Ballarat Council asked us to play. It was like a day on the green, like beautiful spring lush day, and we went to Eureka Stockade, where there's like a swimming pool and a giant kids playground. It was like today, beautiful 25 degrees, sunny spring day, not a breath of wind, blue sky as far as the eye could see. We arrived thinking we didn't really know what the hell it was going to be like. I dressed in a lifeguard costume because my friend was in an op shop earlier that day and found it, and I was like, we got to make it fun somehow. We arrive and there's this trailer on top of the hill, and there's like 2-year-olds running around everywhere. There's like the hillside's dotted with families, like 20-30 families having picnics, and the like acoustic person before us finished, and then Anticline get up, and we weren't allowed to use our own amps. Like we brought our heads and things like that, like we usually do. So we plugged into like a Jazz Verb and like a Squier 20 watt, played a hardcore set to that. And apparently, a friend of mine like was in the car park and was walking over as we started playing, and apparently a 3-year-old was crying because he didn't like the music, and the dad was like, "It's okay." That's a standout. Yeah, so I'd like to be able to do things like that again.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing like making children cry. That's an accomplishment in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, we were apologising between songs. It was a fun show, but
it's not your fault. It's poor organisation. That's all there is to it.
I mean, yes, but also I feel bad because like the person who organised it was clearly just trying to like,
just
Anticline's
support
got a bit
local,
of momentum. We'll get them on.
Support the local scene.
Yeah.
Like it's completely understandable, but maybe do some research.
It's made for a great story. Though.
Hell yeah!
I don't think I'm ever going to have an experience like that again.
So you obviously had the writing process down. You had it ready to go.
Yep.
Everything like that. So then, what have you been able to do over the last sort of 6 to 8 months as far as lockdown's concerned? Have you been able to Zoom chat with the guys and talk, or get anything done?
Nothing at all. Well, Darcy and Jack and Dylan are still writing demos, as they do pretty regularly because they're just machines. So that's good. We've got an ungodly 35, 40 demos sitting there. Some of them are pretty shit. Some of them are fantastic. So we got to sift through that at this point. But it was it felt like LARPing as a band rather than actually being a band. We worked hard on this EP, it came out, we had to delay it and went through a bit of pain to get it out, and it's we're all sitting behind our keyboards watching likes roll in, and it doesn't feel like anything. No. Yeah, not gratifying at all. So yeah, we finally got to prac for the first time last week, and we actually get to prac for the second time tonight. After this, I'm going down to Melbourne.
Perfect.
Pracking.
Good.
So that's good. We're getting to learn the new songs because we haven't even been able to learn the new songs. Played them together for the first time last week, and shockingly, we actually can play them okay. Everyone's still no one's forgotten how to play their instrument. It's excellent.
That's good. There's still passion there. That's great.
Yeah, heaps of passion. And I think that's what's kept us kind of going more than anything, is we've all been a bit sad together. Occasionally jump on the Facebook video call together and have a couple of drinks for half an hour and just chat about what's going on with life. Everyone else is in Ballarat, but poor Darcy's been down in Melbourne, lockdown.
Yeah, okay.
No work. He's been having a pretty rough time of it, as everyone in Melbourne has. So it's just good to see everyone's faces again and start working towards something.
I'm praying for the day that he says no more masks.
No more masks.
Outdoors at least.
Yeah.
Summer's kicking in and it's just getting hard.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. I work in disability support, and apparently healthcare is going to have to, any healthcare, they're saying masks are just going to be compulsory forever as a new practice, basically.
Wow, okay.
So I'm kind of resigned to it. I don't really have
enjoyed
much choice
that.
in it.
Oh God, all right. I don't know if I will go into counselling now. That's also technically a health service. So.
It is, yeah. Sorry, man.
You've crushed me. All right, we've talked enough about Anticline. Let's move on to the new solo project that you're doing called Galloper.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Tell me about that, because that is a fair swing in a different direction from
really
Anticline. So
yeah, I think I've just been writing, trying to do songwriting. You talk to friends who are into music, and everyone wants to do a solo thing. It sounds well, not everyone. A lot of people want to do a solo thing. A lot of people are writing and then not releasing and blah blah blah. So Galloper's been an exercise in. What are you waiting on releasing?
I'm not. I have a lot of writing. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I have a lot of writing, but I don't think it'll ever see the light of day.
Yeah.
If anything, I might just transition into publishing and sell it off to other people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just don't lose a hard drive or anything like that. I had a hard drive fail a few years ago, and I did cry actually.
Ooh,
I think.
Yeah, no, that's not fun. Thank Christ everything's connected to the cloud these days.
Yeah, right. Should probably pay for a backup service. But Gallop is just my way of the one song that's out at the moment was write it. I was originally going to try and write and do a whole music video and have something out within a weekend. It was just I had a weekend off, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna slap it out, work really hard on it. Obviously that became a 3-week period because that's life, and you're never gonna want to just get something done quick and dirty. But it is still pretty quick and dirty. Just trying to get some stuff out, and more to do with what I kind of listen to more regularly, which is more Like shoegazy, floppy, like indie.
I've heard the
BS.
term shoegaze 3 times in the past week.
It gets
For the
thrown
first
around
time.
so much. I don't think it even means anything anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue.
I think it just means alternative music with a verb over it.
Sean tried to introduce it to me last week, and he sent me a few things, and I was like, okay, all right.
Interesting. Yeah.
I can understand why it needs its own name.
I guess,
I couldn't really fit it into anything. Although I'm older and I just generally go indie, all-encompassing indie.
I'm getting worse and worse as time goes on at slotting things into genres because my ideas of genres are just like ever changing, as they should be. But but the so writing the song was just kind of write one thing and then do the next thing as a process, and then kind of reiterate, go back over, start with guitar because that's what I'm most familiar with, and then I've been learning drums, so that was nice and easy to do. Bass was on that track just a flog. I just did root notes for the guitar on bass. Next one's going to be more interesting though. But the music video was kind of one of the highlights for that because I climbed.
It was interesting. It was cool.
Yeah. I climbed into the roof of my house with my housemate and borrowed a projector from Josh Knight and used like a clear glass like a casserole dish that I bought from the reject shop and some oil and water, and like we spent probably 6 hours up there. And I look at you like this because it was not fun. There's insulation everywhere. There's dust. He was wearing a mask the whole time, fortunately, but my lungs felt heavy for the next few days from just breathing it all in. Yeah. Not fun. But yeah, just kind of playing around with that and having fun with the track. I learned a few things. I learned that Adobe Premiere has an automatic sync thing. So
Yes. Yeah.
I wish I had have played the music louder and clearer near the camera so that it actually worked properly, because I had to do a lot of manual syncing, so that'll be good for next time. But yeah, did that quick and dirty edit within like a couple of days and got it out, and this last couple of weeks been writing and doing the next one. Started shooting some music video stuff this week actually.
Cool.
In the lane behind this place, because I live
perfect.
just up the road. I was my housemate Josh was in my car with the high beams on, and Castles, the other housemate, was next to him with the camera, and he was reversing down the alleyway, and I was just running at the car as fast as I can. So I don't know what that's going to turn out like, but I don't know, just trying to get creative with it.
Yeah, no, I like it, and that's the thing. You know, you do what you can. Like we're a bit luckier here now in regional Victoria that we can go outside and do stuff like that. But,
Exactly.
yeah, make the most of it.
Yeah.
I suppose general question, just personally for you. How has lockdown been for you creatively, financially? Obviously, like working on the solo project, you've been doing writing. Has the writing come quite naturally through this, or?
Yeah, I think it has. I think I've been a little frustrated with myself for not doing something for a long time, so it's been good to do that. And start writing as well on the new Anticline stuff, like start doing lyrics and things like that, because writing lyrics is really fun. Yeah.
No, good. Last question, same one I ask everyone. What do you think will be the main thing you take away from this year, from 2020?
It is that trying to think of something quite profound to say, I suppose. I feel like there needs to be an adequate level of
quoted,
gravitas to what I say, like in proportion to the question. No, people can be super fucking selfish, and that's been really evident through this pandemic. But also, I love a lot of people in my life, and I'm grateful for them.
Yeah, I think having the close ones you can reach out to when you're all suffering through the same bullshit is great.
Yep.
And then some of the general public can just fuck off.
Yeah, I think so. Living across the road from Coles and watching the toilet paper disappear and pass through flour is just fucking disheartening.
Yes.
So disheartening.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. That's great.
That's quite alright. This has been really fun.
Yeah, no, this has been good. As I've said to everyone else, as the series progresses, you are more than welcome to come back, especially once you guys start gigging again. And if you want to bring the others, you're more than welcome to.
Absolutely. I think D'd want to come next time,
Yeah.
or Jack or someone like that, or maybe I'll just hook them up and they can come
Yeah,
to it.
either either. Yeah.
You guys don't have to put up with my rambling.
As long as they've got something new to talk about, I don't want to have to go over the whole same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's only so many things you can say about COVID-19 at this point.
Yes. At least we're not all writing about COVID-19. That's the point. You know?
Yeah, geez. Oh, I'm just waiting for it. There's gonna be like a metalcore album about a plague, a sickness, a concept.
Just a compilation album from all these artists that just could not be fucked.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just start a grindcore band and it'll just be 5-second tracks.
Just fuck COVID and just the meatiest breakdown ever. That'd be
Yeah.
great. So if you want to find Will stuff, obviously Anticline on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Galloper is only on Instagram.
Galloper's only on Instagram and probably will only ever be on Instagram.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep busy.
And obviously, yes, the EP on Spotify, as we talked about earlier.
Go stream it, please.
Yes, do it.
And listen to the other podcasts.
Yes, yeah. There's plenty more to come. Thanks, mate. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And,
You too, Kevin.
And thank everyone else for watching.
Thanks for having me.